Hey all, and welcome back for another round of HellfireComms Patreon TV comms. Or just the one, this time singular, as it were, a little babby comm all on its own. We're returning to Star Wars Rebels today to check out an episode known as An Inside Man. And much like with what we covered before, haven't seen this episode, so we're just going to make shit up out of our mouths as we go along. You ready, Volk? Alright guys, if you need syncing help, you can check the video description for specific metadata unique to the videos we're covering, so if you need to find them online, you can just check that, and also just how to sync stuff in general. Here we go. Star Wars Rebel, An Inside Man. I'll do that again. Star Wars Rebels, An Inside Man, in 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie. Transmitidor es español en SAP.
And of course, we are with the Imperials. For reasons, if it is an inside man, we can only assume that there's going to be someone on the inside giving privy details about the Imperial movements. Pretty sure this dude had long hair before, unless I'm imagining it.
No, I don't think you are imagining it. He must have shaved it. And don't forget the dude with the things over his eyes. I'm pretty sure got fucked up in that one thing we watched.
Yep, he got fucked up by, I think it was Darth Vader, or it was somewhat, it may have been Darth Maul even. No, it must have been Maul, thinking about it, because Vader had basically the one-on-one with his ex-apprentice.
That was a good two-part. I'm really glad we got to cover that. This was commissioned by Mauricio Cuervo, by the way, who just loves making us watch, like, Star Wars stuff. And then, like, although Zayn Auto, I think, is getting in on that shebang.
Ah yes, we got one person giving us Clone Wars and the other one giving us Rebels, so between the two, we're pretty much set.
Fucking love Clone Wars, man. It's such a good show. I will attest until my dying day that the prequels are worth it, just only if you're watching the stuff surrounding them and not the movies themselves.
Yeah, it's the world itself rather than, like, what made the world, like, popular or mainstream, I guess.
Alright, that was a quick get in, get out, I guess. Or was it just a quick watch? Who knows? Who even cares, even?
This reminds me of Final Fantasy VII.
How so?
Well, in Final Fantasy VII, when you escape from Midgar, you're essentially on a pickup truck with Shinra goons on motorcycles chasing after you. This is very much the same thing, except it's a floating pickup truck with speeder bikes.
Ah, okay. Let me just read a little bit of the synopsis here. Reunion on Lothal. It is nightfall on Lothal, and the spectres Can Angelus, Ezra Bridger, and the astromech droid Chopper are waiting on a rooftop in a town just outside Lothal's capital city. The city is under a heavy Imperial occupation, and its streets are being patrolled by stormtroopers and AT-AT walkers. Imperial Star Destroyers patrol the skyline. Ezra, looking at the city through a pair of macro binoculars, say it's worse than their rebel local contact Ryder Azadi reported. Let's see, who is this Ryder person? I'm assuming it's the guy in the car. Yep, that looks just like him.
Yep, he is the one driving. I'm liking what he's got going on with his hair as well.
Is that fucking, it's not Ron Perlman. It's, God, what is his name? This is annoying. I don't know his name. Who the fuck voices Ryder Azadi?
I don't actually know. You're gonna have to look into that one.
Clancy Brown, there we go.
I thought it might have been, but I didn't know for certain if that was what you were going for.
I'm looking for him, mate, don't you worry. Yep, Clancy Brown, there we go.
Hey, the legend himself.
And you know, in the Clone Wars, Clancy Brown actually voices Darth Nasty Nasty, who is Darth Maul's brother.
Ah yes, Savage Opress, not Savage Opress.
You know, just gotta give it a bit of an inflection.
I am looking forward to seeing if we get more Darth Maul related stuff in Clone Wars, or perhaps even in Rebels. I'm not entirely sure if he gets more screen time, apart from that 1 or 2 episodes that we saw him in Rebels the first time we got introduced.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Indeed, indeed. I'm sure it'll probably be commissioned before long. No, I just got my hair shaved. That means I am a freshman badass.
I can make a cheese sandwich, but that's probably not what you're asking for.
No, that's like level 1 engineering at best. Engineering a sandwich doesn't take much know-how.
Not really, no.
It just takes some ingredients and 2 slices of bread.
Ah, I see. An inside man indeed.
Or inside men, as it were. I can't but feel that one person had a good night's sleep and the other two are just dead inside because they didn't get their coffee in the morning.
Well, you know, when Vader grabs you, force slams you out of bed, you're not really going to start off the day at your freshest.
Is that how all Imperial troops wake up? It's just like Darth Vader at a point in time just like simultaneously either force chokes or force throws everyone out of bed at the same time.
I guess so, but we have a very important character here, mate. Do you know who this is?
Thrawn, is it?
Thrawn, mate. Thrawn. Let's see. Mithra Nura Odo, more commonly known as Thrawn, was a Chiss male who served as a member of the Chiss Ascendancy and as a Grand Admiral in the Galactic Empire prior to the Galactic Civil War. Thrawn hailed from Cilia in the Unknown Regions, the knowledge of which Emperor Palpatine coveted. He met Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker and later worked with him during the Imperial era, when he was known as the Sith Lord Darth Vader. In his tactics, Thrawn notably employed his philosophy based around the understanding the philosophy and art of his enemies.
Ooh, so he's very much a big cheese in this whole Galactic Empire. Very nice, very nice.
You might want to hurry up, darling, otherwise we'll probably figure out you're a rebel.
I always like how they do that. It's like they give him just enough time to kind of get their bearings. It's just like, okay, he's taking way too long to answer. Like, most empires will probably just kill you on the spot at that point. If you took more than 3 seconds to respond, that was it. Your ass was on the floor.
Well, well, looks like someone made an oopsie.
Oh god. Oh, he's really in the hot seat now.
Sir, my bollocks! My bollocks!
I'm gonna have to get bionic enhancements.
That's how we do things here in the Empire, I suppose.
Yeah, we just blow people up on motorbikes for funsies.
Let's see, Admiral Thrawn is voiced by Lars Mikkelsen.
Ah, okay. Has he voiced anyone else of significance? The name sounds familiar, but I can't put any more faces to it.
Well, the name might sound familiar because he's the older brother of Mads Mikkelsen.
Ah, okay, that might be it then.
Well, he's in a lot of Rebels episodes. Like, let's see, this is the 3rd episode Thrawn has appeared in so far.
Ah, okay, so he has been introduced at this point, but this is the first time I'm guessing we're getting to see him proper, or at least interact with him in a way that kind of makes sense rather than, oh yes, I am scheming behind the scenes, and then still scheming, and then finally, hey, let me introduce myself.
Yes, I allow myself to introduce myself.
See, this is another thing that would qualify as suspicious. Just send this droid just over there somewhere.
Don't they have, like, security cameras and whatnot watching every inch of this place? I guess not. Yeah, where did those 2 guys go? Why aren't they in line anymore? What is that droid doing? This just raises further questions. And then, like, they have to give the end-of-week report to Darth Vader, and he's just like... you know, because he breathes through a respirator, but also because he's exasperated.
Yeah, that must be a really hard thing to tell. Just like, hey, are you just exhausted? Are you just done with life? Or are you just breathing normally?
Fucking stormtroopers, man. What the hell?
Was it ever really explained why, like, they had the different stormtrooper helmets? Because obviously you got the ones that we see now, and then you got, like, the kind of squarey ones with, like, the round mouthpiece?
I want to say they're for different functions. Like, the ones we know of are just like the grunts. They might be like speeder bike guys and such.
Ah, you mean that they're just the guys who pilot all, like, the speedsters, the AT-ATs, etc., etc.?
You know, if Thrawn's going to be in this episode, I think we're going to focus on him for the commentary, because I don't really have anything else to say right now, so let me scroll down here. Ooh.
Hit us up with some of that lore.
Interesting. You don't mind spoilers, do you?
Not as such. I mean, for this, if we're getting cherry-picked episodes anyway, it might give us some more context later on.
Okay, well, massive spoilers for Thrawn the character here, guys. After rising to the rank of Grand Admiral, Thrawn commanded the Imperial 7th Fleet and was assigned to destroy the rebels of the Lothal sector, eventually tracking them down, culminating in the Battle of Atolan. The Phoenix Cell was largely destroyed, and Thrawn encountered a being known as the Bendu, who predicted his defeat, with many arms surrounding him in a cold embrace. As the rebellion continued, Thrawn continued to fight the rebels on Lothal until its liberation, in which he and his blockade were defeated by the rebel Jedi Ezra Bridger and the Purgil creatures who surrounded him in the cold embrace of the Bendu's prophecy. As the Purgil creatures who could jump to hyperspace left Lothal, Thrawn was dragged into the Great Unknown. His knowledge of the unknown regions was later used to help the remnants of the defeated Empire retreat and form the First Order.
Ooh. Interesting. Alright. Well, I'll be tempted to see if any future episodes of Rebels will cover that somewhat, because I would love to see the context to all that knowledge.
Don't worry, we'll probably have forgotten by the time the episode rolls around.
And it'll be like fresh. It's like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Like, unknowingly, we literally covered this 2 months ago.
I want that R2-D2. That's pretty fucking cool.
I've always been a fan of just black in general.
What, the colour, or...?
Well, the colour, obviously.
Well, you gotta give yourself a little spice when you're describing things, right? You can't just say, oh, I like pretty colour.
Alright, I like black with just, like, the little accents of colour here and there. How's that? Oh my god, it's Darth R2-D2! Droid, I am your motherboard.
Thank you. Really? Was that necessary?
Quick, disguise him as a trash bin in Disney World.
No, then they disguise themselves as droids and whatnot. It's a steady stream of, like, changing disguises to go around the ship.
Like, eventually it's just a painted cardboard box made to look like an Imperial droid. I mean, they kind of bumbled their way through this at first, but they're kind of making their way around, and suddenly we're now in the Spaceballs section of the Imperial base.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes. A fine picture of a kitty.
This pleases me greatly. Yep, there he is with long hair as well, so that definitely confirms I wasn't just imagining it.
Dude, the mutton chops are off the fucking chain on this guy. Look at those things.
They are pretty legendary. He keeps his muttons very well.
Is that what the rebel symbol was? I never realised it was a phoenix.
It would make perfect sense, considering, like, the rebels always seem to come back just when they've been on the brink of being completely annihilated.
Uh-oh. He is getting choked the fuck out. Oh wait, Vader's not here. Maybe he's just gonna get kicked in the dick then.
Just a swift kick to the bollocks. Like, I would argue that's probably worse than being force choked. Like, a force choke you can shake up, but a kick to the nuts stays with you.
Mentally and physically.
Exactly, I mean, when you're force choked, you can't really do much about it, you just have to kind of get up and move on. If you get kicked in the nuts for the next 3 weeks, you're kind of like consciously sort of covering your nut area and maybe clenching, bracing yourself for something else to happen eventually.
Okay, a little bit much, folk, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. This hallway...
Classic stormtroopers being in the wrong place. Little do they know they're also in the wrong place, but they don't want to admit it.
Yep, that way is danger. Look at this fucking Scooby-Doo race we got going on here.
This is like the worst infiltration I think I have ever seen, yet somehow they seem to be getting through. And I'm not sure if it's just dumb luck or Imperial incompetence.
It's called Star Wars Rebels, not Star Wars Lucky Guys.
You know, you think in the future that elevators would have much bigger capacity.
Well, efficiency, you are on a starship after all. Yeah, take that! Oh, he was the inside man. Mullet chop man.
Of course, it all makes sense. Someone with facial hair that awesome can't be evil. He's like the big heroic guy that makes the sacrifice towards the end of the season.
Oh, well, I'll see if you're right there, Volk.
Oh no, it's gonna happen, isn't it? He's gonna die at some point in the end of the season and they're gonna kick some ass and then it'll be like, this will be for him!
Let's see. Fulcrum, a code name used by informants for various rebel cells, including Ashoka Tano, the first Fulcrum agent, who created the code name. Alexander Callas, who defected from the Imperial Security Bureau. Let's see, is this the dude? Yes it is. There's some beautiful mullet chops. Alexander Callas was a human male revolutionary who served as an agent of the Imperial Security Bureau, operating number ISB 021, before becoming a rebel spy in the formative days of the Alliance to restore the Republic.
Ah, alright, so nothing revealed about his imminent mortality or otherwise, but I think I might want to keep that under wraps unless we skip far enough ahead for it not to matter.
I just love Clancy Brown being Clancy Brown. He doesn't need to put on a fancy voice. I'm easily pleased.
Hey Dwight, you want an M&M? That's his whole exchange with Rob Paulson was amazing.
Oh, well, that's the benefit, I suppose.
Yeah, if you're young and spritey, you'll just get in on that before the other guy. That's the only problem with the whole master-apprentice relationship. Eventually, the apprentice starts doing the things that you want to do before you get the chance to do it. And you want to be like, oh, I wanted to do that. You have to reprimand him, because you want to be able to get one up on him as well.
I was actually talking about making things seem legit and whatnot, Volk. You alright? You paying attention?
That too, yes, yes.
Okay. Before I said granddad for a second there, I don't know.
Maybe it's just something in the base, like everyone calls him granddad.
I haven't the heart to tell them they're stupid.
Like, maybe it was just like an oddly endearing thing eventually and he didn't want to correct people.
This is very ballsy, openly attacking Imperials and whatnot, but hey, if you've got the rocket launchers to back it up, you go for it.
And I mean, if you want your guys on the inside to escape as well, nothing quite gets their attention like a full frontal assault.
How do I sign Uh-oh SpaghettiOs in whatever this Walker's designation is?
I don't know, but I get the feeling if they're going to be doing any Imperial base infiltration in future, these two are not going to be involved. This is so ridiculous.
A little bit, yeah. Like, there's only like so many times you can get out of danger before it's like you're just being written to survive, you know?
It's like watching a slap fight in slow motion. Oh yes, the AI cannot resist the side strafe, the most powerful evasive tool known to man. Your computers are no match for me.
Yeah, just walk on him. There you go. Oh, Jesus!
This is what I do. I sit on you.
I see. They're going to go up into the AT-AT.
A Trojan horse going inside a larger Trojan horse, as it were.
Yes. Hello.
I bet you didn't see this. Stormtroopers with lightsabers.
Oh no, a daring new combination.
I'm not sure how well that would actually work if they just suddenly started giving stormtroopers lightsabers. On the one hand, they wouldn't miss their shots. On the other hand, I don't think I trust them not to slice their own arm off.
Yeah, there would be some dead motherfuckers, at least on the first day, cutting their own heads off.
Maybe putting them in some close combat wouldn't be amiss entirely. I mean, considering their lack of affinity for guns.
Dude, that was so fucking cool. Can we find another one of those and do it again?
I rate your infiltration E-.
I'll give it like a low D, maybe. You got what you needed, but not without casualties.
Yeah, like, the only reason I didn't give them an F is because they're still alive.
And away we go.
And just like that, mission accomplished? Question mark?
We haven't really interacted with these, like, members of the Rebel Alliance, but I know they've been in an episode I've actually watched before.
Ah, so you know of them, but you don't entirely know what they're about.
I think that episode I watched was the one where they made contact with Ahsoka Tano as Fulcrum.
Ah, fair enough.
Let's just say we had someone on the inside, the scriptwriter.
Thankfully, we were saved by many wacky a chase scene. Wait, how do you accidentally recruit someone?
I don't know, write the wrong name on a form. It's more likely than you might think.
No, that is true. I mean, those application forms are a doozy. Alright, so they're willing to trust him, but they're not entirely trusting him yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I mean, that's probably the smartest thing to do.
Oh, he's gonna pick off the woman.
I can see it now, so he's literally just, like, playing this up far too much. Like, you're acting too suspiciously. Oh, that's clever.
Also, your butt is perfectly perky. Was that too much?
I'm really liking the blue hue of your skin today, Grand Admiral. Wait a minute, are you the mole?
It's gotta be you. I'm closing the video down. So, that was Star Wars Rebels. Let's see, what was the designated number? I actually don't know, like, what season, what number it was, because when Flame was finding us the video, it was, like, listed as different things on, like, different sites. So, we're just giving it the episode title, An Inside Man. What did you think of An Inside Man, Rob?
I liked the intrigue side of things, although I felt like maybe the actual infiltration phase was maybe a little bit too silly for what it's meant to be, but at the same time, I don't think it's entirely unfitting either, but I feel like maybe they could have dialed it back a little bit and still been fine.
It was a bit goofy and a little bit too lucky at points, but I understand it's a kids show. You don't want to like have your protagonists being killed off every other second, so I can let that slide. And otherwise, it was a fairly enjoyable, if low-key, episode. And like Volk said, the intrigue was fun. So yeah, guys, that's it for another episode of Star Wars Rebels. Don't worry, we have more to come. And if you want your own TV comms, go check out patreon.com/HellfireComms and pledge today or whatever is best for you. Every penny helps to support the group, whether it be paying co-comms, buying equipment and such, or just paying the random misc bills that come with being a gigantic shut-in and running a YouTube channel. Thanks for your support, guys. See you next time for another Patreon TV comm. Bye-bye.
See you later.